You go months, maybe even years, without noticing any change in your height. Then one random morning, you wake up, look in the mirror, and something feels different. You look taller. At first, you think you're imagining things, until you try putting on your favorite pants, and suddenly, they don't fit the same. That's when it hits you. You've actually grown. It's not your imagination, the body really does grow in short bursts called growth spurts. Today, we will unpack when growth spurts happen, how they work, how much growth to expect, how to make the most of them, and what you should avoid if you don't want to slow them down. First, let me explain. During puberty, a surge of hormones, specifically estrogen in girls and testosterone in boys, triggers the growth spurt. These hormones cause the cartilage plates at the ends of long bones, called epiphyseal plates or growth plates, to grow rapidly. The hormone estrogen, while promoting growth, also causes the growth plates to close and fuse earlier. A girl's height growth significantly slows down after her first menstrual period because estrogen is released in large amount during menstruation, and most girls reach their adult height by age 14 or 15. As for the boys, the male hormone testosterone initially stimulates the growth plates for a longer period before eventually causing them to fuse. This later and more prolonged period of growth is why boys tend to be taller than girls and continue to grow until around age 16. And some continue subtle growth until age 20 to 21, and can add 1 to 2 inches or 2.5 to 5 centimeters after high school. During a growth spurt, the body doesn't grow uniformly. Instead, it follows a specific pattern known as distal proximal development, meaning growth starts at the extremities and moves inward towards the torso. This is why adolescence can sometimes appear awkward or disproportionate. The general order of a growth spurt is: hands and feet are usually the first parts of the body to grow. You might notice a teen's shoes or gloves suddenly not fitting. Next, the arms and legs grow in length, making a person's limbs seem unusually long in relation to their torso. The torso and trunk are typically the last parts to lengthen. Once the torso catches up, a person's overall proportions begin to normalize, though muscle mass and other body changes continue to develop. The head, including the ears, nose, and lips, also grow, but this growth often begins after the hands and feet have started their growth phase. The internal organs, like the heart and lungs, also grow dramatically to support the larger body size. But what exactly causes a growth spurt? The primary driver of a growth spurt is genetics. Your child's DNA plays the most significant role in determining their ultimate height and the timing of their growth. However, other factors also play a crucial role. First is hormones. The body produces hormones like growth hormone, thyroid hormones, and sex hormones including estrogen and testosterone that regulate and trigger growth. The second factor is nutrition. Proper nutrition is essential. A balanced diet with adequate protein, calcium, vitamin D, and other nutrients provides the building blocks for bone and muscle development. Third is sleep. Growth hormone is mainly released during deep sleep, making sufficient rest critical for healthy growth. Last but not least is exercise. Regular physical activity supports the development of healthy bones and muscles. So, what are the signs that you may be experiencing a growth spurt? While the most obvious sign is an increase in height and weight, there are other common indicators that a growth spurt is happening. First is increased appetite. The body needs a lot of energy to fuel rapid growth, so children may seem to be constantly hungry or eat significantly more than usual. Then there may be changes in sleep patterns. Growth hormone is released primarily during deep sleep. As a result, children may need more sleep than usual, sleeping longer or wanting naps. Conversely, some babies may become fussier and wake more frequently at night due to increased hunger. Fussiness, irritability, and clinginess are also common, especially in babies. Older children and teens may also experience mood swings and feel more tired or clumsy as their body adjusts to its new size. Then there's the common symptom of growing pains. Growing pains are mild, dull aches that often occur in the legs, typically in the calves, thighs, or behind the knees. They are most common in the evening or at night and are thought to be related to muscles struggling to keep pace with rapidly lengthening bones. How long do growth spurts last? Well, the duration of a growth spurt varies with age. In infants, they are typically short, lasting just a few days, though they can sometimes extend up to a week. In adolescence, the growth spurt can occur multiple times over a period of a few years. What should you do to facilitate a growth spurt? First, growth is energy expensive. Teenagers in a growth spurt often need between 500 to 1,000 extra calories per day. The body prioritizes growth over energy storage, so without enough calories, growth can slow. Protein is critical, at least 1 to 1.5 grams per kg of body weight. Carbohydrates supply energy for growth processes. Without enough carbohydrates, the body may break down muscle for fuel. Healthy fats support hormone production, including growth hormone release. Example: a 14-year-old boy in a growth spurt might need 2,800 to 3,200 calories per day, depending on activity. Next, reduce stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which blunts GH. Next, like earlier mentioned, you should exercise regularly. Exercise doesn't directly make you taller, but it optimizes conditions for maximum growth. Find any weight-bearing activity that you can regularly engage in. Any sport that requires regular running or jumping like basketball, football, volleyball, or handball stimulates bone density and signals growth plates to stay active. Stretch-based activities like yoga, swimming, gymnastics may also help spine alignment and posture, making true height more visible. Exercise also improves sleep quality, which boosts GH release. It improves circulation, delivering nutrients to growth plates faster. Next, you should aim to sleep optimally. According to the National Sleep Foundation, children aged 6 to 13 years should sleep for at least 9 to 11 hours, while teenagers aged 14 to 17 years should sleep for at least 8 to 10 hours. Sleep promotes bone formation. It's during deep sleep that the greatest amount of growth hormones is released, and studies show that majority of bone growth takes place while we are sleeping. A study that was conducted on baby lambs also found that almost all bone growth takes place when we are resting or sleeping. Finally, you may consider growth hormone injections. If your growth plates are still open, growth hormones catalyze the division of cells at growth plate cartilage, which triggers heightened rates of bone formation, resulting to increased bone length. A child may be short without any endocrine disorders or illness despite having relatively taller parents. Back in 2003, the Food Drug Administration of the United States approved the treatment of such cases of short stature with recombinant human growth hormone, and such therapy has proved to be effective in increasing growth velocity, thus increasing the chances of children reaching adult height. What should you avoid during a growth spurt? First is skipping meals. Skipping meals limits building blocks for growth. According to the American Dietary Guidelines, 2010, girls aged 9 to 13 require 1,400 to 2,200 calories, and girls aged 14 to 18 need 1,800 to 2,400 calories each day during puberty. Physically active girls require more calories during puberty than those who are not very physically active. Boys in puberty stage require more calories than girls, accountable by larger frames and bigger muscle mass. Hence, boys aged 9 to 13 require 1,600 to 2,600 calories, and teen boys aged 14 to 18 need 2,000 to 3,200 calories per day to maintain healthy body weights. However, the caloric requirements for teenage athletes who regularly participate in vigorous sports training are much higher, requiring up to 5,000 calories every day. Next, you should avoid excessive high-impact sports without rest. Excessive exercise is associated with delayed pubertal changes. Sports that put emphasis on particular weight control and require high energy output are likely to have a negative impact on pubertal growth spurt. Examination of male scholastic wrestlers has demonstrated reduced vertical body growth during the active sports season, then catch-up growth during the season break. Analysis of elite female gymnasts and dancers has likewise demonstrated delayed growth and pubertal maturation during periods of intense training. Exercise in children may provide a conflicting stimuli to body growth simply because its energy costs can reduce the nutrients available or necessary for growth. The next thing you should avoid is cigarette smoking. Nicotine is the most abundant chemical found in the dried tobacco leaves used for smoking in cigarettes. Nicotine constricts blood vessels, thereby reducing blood flow to tissues including bones. Bones require a substantial amount of blood supply for oxygen and nutrients. A study published in the Journal of Epidemiology to investigate if cigarette smoking had any influence on height or growth found that boys who smoked were on average up to an inch shorter than those who didn't smoke. Just like cigarettes, taking drugs like marijuana can also affect your growth spurt. Tetrahydrocannabinol, the main psychoactive compound in cannabis that produces the high sensation, is believed to be responsible for suppression of a number of hormones, growth hormone and testosterone inclusive. According to a study that was presented to the European Congress of Endocrinology, it was established that marijuana-addicted boys had lower levels of growth hormones and were more than 4 inches shorter than their counterparts who did not consume the drug by the time they reached age 20. Finally, limit or avoid alcohol consumption. Studies in humans have found that alcohol can lower the levels of growth and sex hormones in both adolescent boys and girls. Earlier studies established that drinking alcohol among teenage boys constrained serum GH and testosterone levels, and it adversely affected bone mineral density. Growth spurts are short, powerful windows where the body works overtime to build your future height, strength, and structure. They don't last forever, but with the right sleep, nutrition, activity, and habits, you can make everyone count. Whether you're a teenager in the middle of it or a late bloomer, the same rules apply. Give your body what it needs, and it will surprise you. If you want to learn about a little-known phenomenon called catch-up growth, where people grow faster than normal after illness or delay, stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and hit the subscribe button to watch more videos like this.